Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. 3 years ago, I was working at a tutoring center when I tried to be the nice guy and it kind of backfired. What had happened was that this was in Seattle, Washington. It was actually in a smaller town of Seattle called Mercer Island. And we were coming up to spring break. All the school districts in the area had their spring break. I believe it was first week of April. And I told my boss, I'd like to go away, but I like to put the students first. So why don't you let me know the schedule when you have it, so I'll work around you guys. Well, long story short, it did not go as well as I had thought because I stayed around, but a lot of students canceled at the last minute. The long story short is that I had no students, no pay, and no vacation, and no credit to it either. The boss didn't think that I was sacrificing anything to be available. And guess what? 3 years later, it's not like I'm still working there. I'm not, right? I hardly ever go to him for any references. In fact, we have a lot of bad blood since I left. And long story short, why do I bring this up? Well, I want to remind myself as well about the folly of doing that. A lot of people my generation are jumping ship a lot. You really have to in order to job hopping is kind of almost mandatory in my generation because otherwise you'll get taken advantage of, right? A lot of new employees make a lot more than people who have been working 5, 6, 7 years, it seems, these days. And I often worry that if I just started, is it okay if I take some time off? Like, for example, this holiday season, I might think about visiting. Well, it's kind of interesting. When I was at my grandmother's funeral last winter, I asked my grandmother to go talk to Mary Curry to have her set me up on a blind date. And weird things have happened since then. And I met two of Mary Curry's. Well, one is her granddaughter. The other one's a little bit more distant but famous. Two of Mary Curry's ancestors or descendants. And when I think back at the times that I put off my personal life, nothing good has come out of it. It's not like today any of these people are still saying 5 years ago, Peter did this for me, or 5 years ago, Peter gave me a bunch of vacation time. I worked for another place where we could give away our vacation. No, I never get any of that. I only get the missed opportunities from that, right? In fact, I still live with a lot of those missed opportunities. A lot of these relationships don't last forever. I don't think I need to tell you that, right? And so another hack I've learned is to use the right passwords when I ask for the time off. So I very seldom say I'm taking time off to go on a date or to go on vacation. No, it's a family obligation. Now, the other day I had to take some time away from the phone. Hey, make sure you call me before 6. I got a family obligation. The family was stargazing, obviously, but that's my family, right? Who knows if there's life up there? And you know what? Even if there isn't, having that as a companion is my family. And so when I sit across the desk from my colleague and say I have a family matter to tend to at 6 o'clock, I really do feel that, to the point that I could almost pass the polygraph test if even if I were telling that to a colleague, right? That's how I want you to treat these requests, right? You have to feel what you're saying, right? Even when you're using their passwords. So, for example, when I go visit Mary Curry's granddaughter, that is a family member. It's a very distant family member, maybe, right? Either you can think of it as a very distant family member, or you can think of it as a family member that we've chosen for each other, right? Either one, right? As long as you can use the right keywords, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.